Today we're going to check out this really cool tool called NotebookLM. It's a Google tool, so you can log in with Google and get started. NotebookLM has a variety of features that are fantastic for all levels of education. We're going to start by creating a new notebook. And to do that, you are going to upload or add any sources. You can add up to 50 sources per notebook file. For this sample, I'm going to use the civil rights movement of the 50s and 60s as our topic. I've downloaded a copy of a letter from Birmingham jail from Dr. King and a copy of his I Have a Dream speech. I'm going to upload those now. You can see they're both uploading on the left side of the screen. More recently, NotebookLM has reorganized the layout of the platform with your sources on one side, the chat in the center, and the studio on the side. I'm also going to upload a couple websites. This one is the Brennan Center for Justice, Voting Rights Act Explained, and I have the Brown versus Board of Education ruling. Finally, I'm going to add 2 videos from YouTube. One of them is a Malcolm X speech, Who Taught You to Hate? And the other is a video from my academy on the civil rights movement in general. So now you can see on the left side, I have 6 sources upload of a variety of types. Now, my first option is I can interact with these sources in this chat. For example, I can ask the chat from NotebookLM to summarize the key points of the Brown versus Board of Education ruling and explain it to me like I'm in 6th grade. As you can see, it has provided me a nice summary, and I like how it explains each piece of its summary. You'll also notice these little numbers next to the explanation. If I click on one, it takes me to the exact spot in the sources that I provided where the information was found. If we go back up to the beginning, you can see that there are a couple of other options here. For example, we can have a briefing doc created. When you click that, it's going to add a note over here. Let's open it. So now we have a briefing doc of the key themes of the civil rights movement. I can also use the sources that I uploaded to create a study guide. This will generate another new note. I can then copy this study guide into a Google Doc, and I can utilize it in my studies. This is a great resource for a teacher to use. But wait, there's more. A newer feature in NotebookLM is this deep dive conversation. What this will do when I click generate is utilize all the sources that I have uploaded and create a podcast style conversation with all of the information. It is mind-blowing. I mean, think about it. You could upload all the notes from a unit in any subject into the sources and then go right over to the studio and have it generate this podcast that students can then listen to at any point. You can also provide a study guide, and students can follow the study guide as they are listening. Let's take a quick listen to the podcast that it created.
Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. And today we're tackling one of those periods in American history that just, continues to resonate. The fight against segregation and the long struggle for civil rights, protests.
There was a very deliberate strategy involved, and he actually outlined 4 steps. The first step was the collection of facts, to expose the injustice.
Isn't that awesome? Can you imagine how that's going to reach your auditory learners? There's a new feature down here called interactive mode. Now with this, you can actually jump in and join the conversation and steer the discussion a little more specifically towards an angle you might be reaching for. There are so many ways that NotebookLM can be used in education. From the civil rights analysis we just did, to literary analysis, and even to taking your staff or faculty handbook or your student and family handbook and creating an interactive resource for families to use. Questions about dress code? Pop them into the chat. Because the information is being pulled directly from the sources you upload, the answers will be coming directly from those sources. The possibilities are limitless.